Back again. Iclone is obviously the leader in character creation, right? But it is an absolute piece of crap. You know, it freezes, it locks up on you. It can't handle if you dare to double click any part of this frame. God forbid. Oh, it'll just sit there in loop for an hour. And then you've got to crash the program, reboot your computer. So basically what I'm doing is I'm loading in Thomas into Unreal Engine. Okay, so I think I actually already had it, that's why it's deleting it, and I'm going to reinstall it again. So what do we got here? Right now, what I want to do is make sure, go back to content, go to our content. Right, so if we go to Thomas, have we still got Thomas? No, we haven't got Thomas anymore. Alright, so bang. Now I shall begin again. I'm transferring Thomas. I deleted him because I was annoyed at Iclone freezing and locking up on me as usual, as it does. Not that Unreal doesn't crash 10 times a day, but it's a much easier process. So what I've been able to do is I import a character, right? So whether it's one of these little genie girls or whether it's Thomas, into Iclone. And when you are, for example, with this one, with this girl, what you've got to do is when you first import it, you get a CC Live Link blueprint, right? Now if I go, right? So when you're actually in your folder, right, the one you want to pick to put on the actual up here is Gypsy Dance. That's an animation she's doing. So what I want is to go to her. That's still coming through. So let's go back to, well, there's a dancer, right? So there's a dancer blueprint. I'll be able to show you easier with Thomas because it'll be a fresh file. See, that's the Desert Dancer CC3 skeletal mesh. These are all the different animations I've put onto her. Where is she? Doing everything but it. Yes, I actually bought the Rose animations, which are brilliant. I've got nearly every set of animations from Unreal because they just work better. But if you want an individual motion, you know, so that if you make something in Iclone, and I've got Thomas when it wants to come over. So what this video is no, I won't play anyway. But it's Thomas just standing there idling, using his phone. And so if you've got a particular motion that you've built yourself, you know, you could have someone scratching their nose, picking their bum, walking in a certain way, you know, or walking a particular pattern, then you will, you know, that animation is unique, not so easy to get from either Mixamo or, you know, especially if you make an intimate scene, two people, you know, kissing or holding each other and embracing, all that business. So you import the avatars into Iclone, and when this is finished showing you, what you do is you save the FBX of the motion of the avatar, and you import the avatar and you import the FBX motion. When you connect the animation or the motion to the blueprint, i.e., sorry, I'll just move this. So this here, the CC3, yep. So CC3 link blueprint. If you get sort of like the avatar, you get the CC link blueprint. You get, you know, quite a few files when you import someone. And if you make sure you pick that one, put it in the scene, and then you connect the motion to it, then the motion begins immediately, and it will loop, and thus you'll have this girl working. So I'll just show you to you. as slow as it all is, but then that's iClone spending 3 years transferring its file. One day this stuff will be quicker. Alright. And I like to create ideas in movies. I would love people to suggest things, you know, plots, stories, how you'd like girls to look. I can pretty well make any avatar, male or female, or even hermaphrodites or whatever, you know. So I'd love to get suggestions from people about scenes they'd like to see. Collaboration would be great if someone... I have really struggled to build this little animation company of mine because it's just me, you know, and you need at least 2 or 3 people. You need a character creator, someone who's dedicated to designing avatars and making the person look really real life. I'm pretty good at sets and building and stuff like that, so you need one person who's able to knock up sets and building designs, lighting and stuff like that. And I'm also good at animation, so you need someone who's... But that's what I mean, you've got to split those 3 roles. You've got the sets, pardon me, you've got the sets, you've got your characters, and you've got your animation. It's the 3 main functions. And of course, you know, hopefully a storyline, but storylines are easy to come up with because you just have to sort of cover the normal human... There's always a million things you can talk about. What this original story is here is that, like I said, I can't show you much because it's slowly compiling down. Now he has a mobile phone on him, so that might be a separate file that has to transfer over as well, I'm not sure. But when it goes, so very, very excited and looking forward to iClone 8 and Character Creator 4. I won't actually buy the Christmas, you know, 2-up specials and all that business because I think it costs more money when I've looked at it. It'll be cheaper next January, February, just to buy the actual upgrade itself. But it actually adds life, and from what I've seen of the iClone 8, instead of adding emotion or an idle, you actually, you know, you click it and the character becomes alive. It's breathing, it's moving around, and eyes, and it's sort of like waiting for you to, what do you want me to do? And then you're able to, well, actually, I tell you, Movie Storm is a brilliant program, and I started on Movie Storm. And in Movie Storm, you're able to right-click the person and make them keep walking. So you're able, not just waypoints, or not just, you know, putting tracers down. You're actually just able to move up to another part of the scene, right-click, and tell that person to move there, sit there. Now, that's been a fantastic feature of Movie Storm for a long, long time. And iClone is copying them and only catching up. Problem is, Movie Storm does not allow you to import quality 3D characters, so you're stuck with basically very low quality avatars. But if you want to make very, very easy, brilliant to make movies, Movie Storm is the one. I just keep writing to the guy, asking him to let us import, you know, for example, Character Creator. But I dare say iClone won't allow that because they know that Movie Storm was the perfect program in how you pretty well break down the 5 sets, break down your actors, able to direct your actors, edit your scenes. It's a fantastic program. But iClone is copying them slowly in their technology, but they've got the added feature that, well, of course, iClone's got Character Creator. The most lifelike people maker in the world, basically, and that's, it's a pity that it's owned by them because they're a bunch of assholes to deal with. They talk to you like shit, they treat you like shit. But they've got a brilliant program, so, you know, I stick with it. But God forsakes, don't expect any respect from them. Email me if you have no money and you want to help with getting sets or avatars or scenes together, because you know, I've got a lot of stuff and I can share it if I meet the right people who talk to me nicely through email. My email contact address is animatedlife3d@gmail.com. Let me know what your plans are if you've got any ideas. And there's a future in this program. I would like to see it actually overtaken by someone else. I'd like to see someone buy this company and run it properly. Okay, so but after they got a whatever, a couple of $1 million from Unreal. Yeah, well, guess where the money came to develop the new software? They're basically owned by Unreal now. Iclone and Reallusion. So, right, I've sent this guy over, okay, and he is now sitting here. So what I mean, you get all these files here of the person being sent over, and what you want to do is grab this guy, right, and this one here. Now, I have already made a file, so I'm going to, now, oh, sorry, I'll show you. It's over here. Go to File, click him, right? File, Export FBX. 60 frames, you want to range, okay, 1 to 1800. I've been able to push that to 5,000, so I can make a frame, say, 5,000 frames. What's that? If we go over to by time, so if I change that to 5,000, now, yeah, so 1.5 minutes is about the, actually, is it 1.5 minutes? Okay. So 1.5 minutes is about the maximum you'll get. I've tried to push it to 6,000 frames, and Unreal Engine crashes every time. So it ain't worth it. But you can, have that's a pretty good time for animation. Anyway, so 1800, we've got roughly, was it 30 seconds? Okay. So this 30-second animation is, like I say, it's just him moving about, looking at his phone. Hit File, Export, FBX, range, yep, 1800. Export to a folder, give it a name, I'll call it Thomas Phone 01. Okay, it takes a little while to save. Bebop-a-loomba, she's my baby. Oh, gotta be careful if you even sing songs, right? I had the radio playing in the background the other day, and some song was playing. I don't know, I don't care. Some dirty little band that owned the song, right? Not happy being a millionaire band already, has blocked all the audio of my video because one of their songs was playing in the background on the radio. So, yeah, gone are the days of musicianship, basically, because what music is the strings of life. And if you can play it and share it and create happiness through it, that's number one. Secondly, if you can make a great living from it or whatever, that's number two. And we all know that the people on the radio and the internet are the big ones. This has happened to be AC/DC, and I think bands like that. They are richer than they should be, right? They're stinking rich. They need to share their money with the world. But basically, yeah, the disgusting part is these bands will still have, bots out there scanning YouTube, will scan every single thing, and if you even hum somebody else's tune or dare to... I had a song that had 2 words, right? My original song. And the name of the song, I won't say because it was ASTRO, and boy. And because somebody owns some stupid comedy show that is... Alright, anyway, back to this. So that's finished over. So what I do is add imports. Now I also make sure you save endlessly, right? Because Unreal Engine will crash all the time. So import to game. That's linked to the same folder. So I'm going to type Thomas. Was it Thomas Phone 01? So Thomas Phone 01 FBX. Right? I'll select that. You can cancel that because it's just an FBX we're bringing in. Make sure it's okay. Do it on the other page. All right, Thomas Bang. Make sure you import animations, animated time is clicked, import all. And take another half an hour. Motions of the it's unbelievable to import a 30-second motion. You can sit here for 5 or 10 minutes, But it's worth it. Because like I said, you get fantastic motion in the market. It's Unreal. And I've bought superwoman motions and normal female interaction motions. But if you want a particular dance that you've got in iClone, or you want a particular interaction of people, this is a great way to create a scene where you've got loads of people. I'll go over. I'll show you a Beatles scene. The next one I'll jump on later today. I'll have to open it up and let it render. But it's the same thing. It's an Unreal, and I've made the 4 Beatles, and I've got them standing on a stage with a couple other musicians and stuff like that, and they're all just performing. I don't have to push play. It's just permanently going. Everyone's just... So it's how to create a live scene in Unreal. And you can use that as a background to a movie, or any ads or anything like that, because that's what I'm into. I mean, games, yeah, they're fun, but I'm into making movies, into creating scenes and stuff like that. So to avoid always having to push play, because it might not be needed, and also to give a realism to your scene, because sometimes you can do the work on an item. So now we've got 9 of 128. Hang on. Where are we? Sorry, I left that there. I can close that off now. So we've got 9 of 128. Yeah, so there's a bit of a while to go. But it is moving along. And if you put one in that's, say, now that's 1800 frames. If you put one in that's 5000 frames, go have lunch, because it will take about half an hour. And then it will also take about an hour to compress, which means you can't save it, you can't close it, you can't do anything. So if you want to put a big version of this motion, like I said, 1.5 minute motions, yeah, you're going to have to set it up so that you leave the computer for a while. Now, okay, well that's just slow. So, yeah, twiddly-dee, twiddly-dum. And like I said, it adds realism to a scene, because you can have like a boat. I'll show you in a minute. I've got a boat, and just had the boat in iClone. I made it rock a little bit about, and then saved the motion for the boat. So it's a brilliant way to animate objects, right? What I discovered, and I'll show you again, like I've got the Beatles one I want to show you, and I've got another one I want to show you which is Lost in Space. And what I did was, in iClone, I got the ladders and the doors to open, right? So there's, as you know, we can record stuff in iClone where the doors are opening up and ladders are moving down. And then I transferred that Jupiter 2 into Unreal Engine, and I did the same thing. I saved the motion of the Jupiter 2 as an FBX and then imported it in. And lo and behold, as soon as I dropped it in and connected the motion to it, like I said, with the blueprint one, the spacecraft Jupiter 2, I hit play and bang, I'm into the scene, and it starts landing and its doors are opening, and so it's a great way to add. It's a cheats way to add animation to objects in Unreal, right? Because you can animate things in Unreal if you're prepared to do it through blueprints, which I am working on. But when it comes to simple things, for example, if I had a table or that lamp, now I could put that. If I get a lamp in iClone and I make the door open and close, and even smash at the end. Well, when you put it into Unreal Engine, if you export over the FBX motion of that, it will do that in front of you. It'll smash. You can make things happen. You can make tables build themselves. You could make anything that you do in iClone with an object. You can send over the FBX into Unreal Engine and save it in Unreal Engine and then have it connected. Alright, so now, can't do much more than this. It's, like I said, it takes a long time. And that's a 30-second one, right? So that's about the minimum you want to do, 15 seconds or 5 seconds. Or anything less than that is just a pain, I mean. And when you think about it, right, you're being charged $4.50 from iClone, right? Simply for emotion. Voila, this is free. You're able to just transfer emotion out. So, Only thing I haven't worked out how to be able to do is transfer the render people. Those new 6 characters they've given away. When you have them in Iclone, they won't transfer to Unreal. I don't know what is wrong with them, but they won't actually export to Unreal. So that makes it difficult to get the characters working in Iclone and then transfer their FDX motions over. So you pretty well got to use the motions that are within Unreal Engine as far as they go. Alright, well, I'll stop talking for a minute. But I'm just giving you an indication of how long it takes. So I don't think it's something wrong. It is what it is. Actually, one of my favourite people to learn off is a guy called Freedom, and yeah, he basically sits there and just looks at the screen and goes, be patient, takes a long time. And it does. Now, what else? It's not stalled, this is how long it takes. No, it's not actually. It's counting up. It's going 86, 87, 88, so no. That's what it does, buddy. It's incredibly massive file. Wait until you upload an 1800 frame, alright? And you'll sit here for the same amount of time, okay? It's got nothing to do with the internet. It's about compression, alright? It's a massive file. If you have a look at it, right? Each tool key is 57.968 thousand, right? It's a huge, that's every single bone for every single one of those 97, right? It might have stuck for a few seconds, but that would have been somewhere probably around the biggest part of it is probably his hand, and so that 57,000 is how many points of actual information is getting from each frame in connection to his leg, his hand, did he move anything, So it lags sometimes when it gets to a big one, which, like I said, is probably the hand, because that's about the biggest thing he moves, and the head, the neck, Alright, so it's eventually getting there. 104. Because if you have a small person, it'll be like 36,000, or if you have a little dog, it'll be 24,000 total keys, you know, so the keys change in regards to how big the person is. If you like, as you can see, go through the ring toe, every single little piece, index toes. Oh, well, not long. And finally, okay. Now, what I mean is, what should happen is if when I click Thomas, I'm able to go over to, alright, let's wait for some of this. Like I said, the compiling shaders will take a while. Compressing animations, that can take the next 10 minutes, but it shouldn't stop me from being able to. So, like I said, I've got the CC Light Blueprint 1 of him that I got from here, from that folder. And if I connect that to animation asset, now if I go into there, right, it's still compressing and rendering, right? I haven't pushed play, and Thomas is just doing what he does, right? So if I go into G or whatever, yeah. So there you go. Thomas is just he will just permanently loop, right? It's a bit slow because it's still compiling. Oh, jump back a bit. Where is he? The compressing of the animation, and being such a large one, it takes a while. And that slows everything down. Alright, so the big Thomas. So now you've created, basically, as that renders down and gets better. Yeah, so those three people that you can see, the girl, you know, we've got the red girl there, little purple genie there, we've got Thomas there. Yeah, and if I push play, they don't change, it'll just stay the same, but it's how to create a continuous looping animation from Iclone into Unreal Engine. So I hope that has helped as far as developing more realistic looking scenes. I'll show you another one. I was just waiting for that to render down. At least that'll help it move a little bit. So remember, like I said, you have to use the where is it? Thomas Blueprint, right? So you have to use the CC Link Live Blueprint of whatever character you push in. This is a render publish a little bit. So I got a little animation in the water. Right, so that boat. It's a bit rough. It's still, it's rocking about. Now that guy doesn't move there, and he's still developing. My light's not formation properly on